I want everything. As a new player, I find myself wanting every release, whether it's a new Beyblade or a recolor of an existing one. I wouldn't be surprised if there are others like me as well, but let's be real. Most of us won't be able to get every single release, despite whatever reasoning we try to use to convince ourselves to place another order. For me, it's, well, I'm making videos, so I've got to get everything, right? No, I don't. But I caved. And here we have the full set of Beyblades from the first random booster of the Beyblade X generation. The hype surrounding the shark edge blade and low flat bit got me for sure. And as mentioned, I'm a new player, so I can't provide immediate deep insight into how these two parts affect the meta. But I can talk about the impact of random boosters from a newcomer's perspective. Placing this order and the follow-up order for October's releases got me to step back and think about what I really need to get enjoyment out of this hobby. Am I a collector seeking a complete collection with every recolor? Or maybe I just want the main releases? Or am I casually having fun picking up pieces sporadically to try and make random combos? Or am I super competitive and want to do well at tournaments, and so on and so forth? I can only answer for myself, and I love the idea of competing and integrating into the local community that way. So at first you may think, well, to be competitive, you need to have access to every part, obviously. Maybe. And if I wanted to meta chase, then yes, absolutely. And there's nothing wrong with that. But another option is finding a few good pieces you're comfortable with and building around those and updating your kit a little less frequently to adapt as needed. You may not always have the optimal build, but you'll have comfort from your consistency and not constantly changing your whole deck. Will you be winning tournaments this way? I can't answer that. I don't want to disillusion anyone. I can only offer it as an alternative choice. What I can say is I bet any of those wins would be so satisfying. And I don't say any of this to try and preach that everyone should stop buying what they want. It's just to say that it's all right to pace yourself in what's surely going to be a marathon of hype around every new release. And for emphasis, that is the point of this video. Of course, the hype is going to be extra strong at the beginning of anything new, so I imagine this will get a little bit easier over time as well. And we haven't even gotten into the cost and probabilities of the first random booster yet. 2 of the 6 pulls have the new blade and 3 of 6 of them have the new bit. Doesn't seem like the worst odds, right? That's assuming they all have the same percentage of appearing as well. You can still open no new parts in 2 of the 6 pulls, and that feels bad. So I'm gonna take a phrase from card games: buy singles. Rather than spending on random chances where you may get lucky on occasion but spend more most of the time, consider just buying the parts. I would love to see it change so that you always get one of the new parts regardless of what combo it's part of, but I get the feeling that's not likely. So say you want the new shark edge blade and low flat bit, and you've been collecting the early releases already. Those are the only new parts in this set. Do you need the duplicates? Do you have an immediate use for them? If not, then maybe just pick up the parts you need. If you go on Bays and Bricks right now, you can get the Yellow Shark Edge 480 needle for $33 and either Hell Scythe 480 low flat or Night Shield 460 low flat for $14. That gives you both new parts with some extras for $47, which is ever so slightly less than 3 random boosters at $16 each that give you no guarantees. I can't make your decisions, I just want to share a perspective to consider. This of course changes depending on how many of the parts in the set you already have as well, where the random booster becomes much more worth it for anyone that doesn't already have the launch Beyblades, so keep that in mind. Now, is it fun to open random boosters in hopes of pulling the prize Beyblade? Absolutely. I want to take nothing away from that aspect. So if it's the hunt and thrill surrounding it that you enjoy the most, go for it. I can't pretend I've never been there. But if you want to build your collection efficiently so you can afford more variety in the marathon of releases, I think it's all right to go slow. Ultimately, it comes down to how you want to enjoy the hobby, and however that is, don't let anyone discourage you from having fun.